What's up, guys? Richie Rich here with vlog number 2 for Senior Project. Doing this the same day as vlog number 1, getting these banged out. Figured I'd do a little video tour of the firehouse where I spend most of my time. Let's start off with the squad. Okay, so we're going to start off right here in the driver's door. We'll go ahead and turn on the battery. Oh, I can't start the truck because I'm not old enough, but we'll go on. I'll throw on the lights. Show you the full effect of the truck. So yeah, there's that. Better turn them off before I kill the battery. To the back seat. And here we have an air pack in every seat ready to go, always full. Every seat also has a radio and a hand flashlight. They also all have headsets for on the ride there so we can hear each other. This right here is called the crash bag or windshield kit. That's for car accidents. That has all the stuff we have to disconnect the battery, find leaks and hoses, and things like that. That right there is to cut windshields. Now if we go back here, we also have 4 right angle lights. They're very bright. I'm actually going to use one of those to make it brighter in here. Right there we have a pickhead axe, which is like the most iconic firefighting tool there ever is, even though we never use it anymore. We have a gator back bar, which is for tearing down sheetrock on walls. A Boston and New York combo hook. This side's Boston because a firefighter from Boston designed it. That side's New York because a firefighter in New York designed it. This is for tearing down ceilings and things like that in a fire. There we have our crash kit, or not our crash kit, our lockout kit. So if you lock yourself in a car, or there's a child locked in the car, they come there with that to open the door. Over here we have our PW extinguisher, which is PW stands for pressurized water. This is water in a can, pretty much, that we use for small fires and things like that. Here we have what's called the irons. It is a halogen bar and an axe, which you can't really see because it's in that compartment, married together, and that's our iron. That is our natural gas meter, or combustible gas meter, that detects natural gas and other combustible gases like that. We use that for any natural gas release calls. We have our Q-ray multimeter, which is for say like carbon monoxide and other gases like that. It tells us our oxygen levels and things like that for carbon monoxide calls. And that pretty much sums up what's in the cab. And we also have safety vests, because you know you gotta be safe when you're on the side of a road, even though that says ladder belts. It's not ladder belts anymore. Alright, so now we'll go back out here. This is the engineer's compartment. The engineer, also known as the driver. Sorry, I forgot to shut this door. Also known as the driver or chauffeur. This is his home. When we go on a call, he'll throw his gear in there if he doesn't put it on. He has a radio in there in case he's got to talk to the county. This is his pump panel. This is like his office. This is where he controls all the water that goes to those hoses. The hoses on the front and the hoses on the back, and the water that comes in as well. Here we have a few what are called pony lines for short distance to supply water to the truck, different nozzles, gated Ys and things like that, and different adapters for different size connections. And he also has an air pack, and there's spare bottles in there. And that is for a light tower at the top. And here we have an airbag control kit. The airbags are back there, those black things all the way in the back. They are, say, if somebody is trapped under a car, they lift the car up so we can slide them out. And here we have rescue helmets, which are pretty much just a red helmet with a little flashlight on it. We have a sub pump, so if your basement's flooded, we can pump it out if it's an emergency. We have a class D, yep, D, it says it right there, extinguisher, which is for magnesium fires. And we also have a 1-hour air bottle, which is for the airbags. And if you see all these little silver compartments, they have a spare air bottle in them. In this compartment we have an air reel and a cord reel for electricity, 2 sawzalls, 1 corded, 1 battery operated. They are pretty much the best tool ever. They can cut through pretty much any type of metal. Here we have a K12 saw, circular saw, which is for concrete, metal, or anything else you can imagine it can cut through it. Mainly used for roofs, but most people prefer to use one of the chainsaws. We have two in there. And we also have cribbing, which is to stabilize a vehicle that we're about to work on if somebody's trapped inside. Back in this compartment is where the magic happens on the squad company. This is what most of you know as the jaws of life. We have the O cutters, which are pretty much a giant pairs of scissors that will cut through anything. And over here we have the spreaders, which are pretty much the exact opposite of the cutters. They will spread anything apart. And here is a combination tool, which is the cutters and the spreaders combined. We don't use that as often unless we absolutely have to, because it's better to use the individual tools. There's also some hydraulic rams, a hydraulic pedal cutter to cut pedals if we have to, and a tarp to keep everything on so it doesn't get dirty, because it's not good if it's dirty. And to turn these on, all you have to do is flip that switch and they're ready to go. Up here we have what's called supply line. It's a 5-inch wide hose, and that's what goes from the hydrant to the truck. Over here we have a spare hydraulic generator. So if for some reason the truck's hydraulic generator to power those tools fails, this is our backup, and it has 2 cords to run off of it. There we also have another sawzall, some stair cribbing, which is for if a car is on all 4 tires, you just shove one of those behind each tire, and that will hold the car stable. Rescue 42 jacks back there. Therefore, if a car on its side, you put these underneath the car at an angle, and then ratchet strap the bottom of the car to the bottom of these, and that forms a triangle, which is the strongest shape for some unknown reason, and that will hold the car perfectly stable. And here we have wedges to just put under the tire if it's just a quick thing. And these are called O'Connell plates. They are to perform what's called a dash roll in conjunction with the hydraulic rams that I showed you in the back. You would put these on the in between the door and the floor in that little area there, and that will push up against the middle of the car while the ram pushed the dashboard forward to get it off, say, a victim's legs that are maybe trapped underneath. And we also have a cord reel up there. And here we have 2 spare bottles. Don't need to open that. And here we have our EMS bag and AEDs back there. And we also have some spare cord reels. And this is what's known as the RIC compartment. There is rope in there and bags for searching if a firefighter goes down. This is labeled RIT, but is actually considered RIC now, which stands for Rapid Intervention Crew. They are the people who are always ready to go inside if a firefighter goes down inside of a fire. These are the guys who are going in to search for the downed firefighter. And so basically that consists of search rope, and back there they have what's called the RIT bag. It's a bag with a 1-hour bottle in it, a spare mask, and duct tape the mask to the downed firefighter's face so it doesn't come off as they're pulling them out. Okay. Up there we have some ladders. They come down from here. They actually come down. I can't put them down because there's not enough room in here. And here we have an ABC dry chem extinguisher, which is your basic red extinguisher that you see everywhere. It's a dry chemical that pretty much suffocates a fire. You use that for kitchen fires, electrical fires, and things like that because it's no liquid. It's like a powder that sucks the oxygen out of the air. And here we just have a whole bunch of random tools, some fire line tape, spare batteries for the drill, and the battery operated sawzall that I showed you on the other side, and a fan. It's called a positive pressure fan, and this just uses positive pressure at the front door to push, say you have smoke in your house or you have natural gas in your house. You open up a window in the back of the house, turn this on, and it pushes it completely out of the house using positive pressure. Here we also have bolt cutters. We have to cut locks or chains or anything like that. High lift jacks right here. These are The proper way to use the step chocks is you put these underneath the wheel well on the car on all 4 tires. Well, 2 tires at a time. There's only 2 here. You lift up the car a little bit, put the step chocks underneath, and you lower it so that the wheels are off the ground a little bit. And then that's pretty much in that compartment. Here's the other side of the hose, which these are actually called cross lace because they go across the truck. Then in here we have what's called a slice pack, which is an oxygen powered cutting tool that will cut through almost anything and is extremely hot. And there we have flares in that red container there. So flares are for if we're at an accident and police don't have flares and they got to direct traffic with them, or if we're going to secure a landing zone for a helicopter, we'll use flares to mark out the landing zone at nighttime so they can see where to land. We mark out a 100 by 100 square. And we already went in there. And here, this is the officer seat. He has an air pack, and a halogen bar, which is known as the officer's tool. Sorry about that loud noise. He also has a radio up there. And this is called, he also has the notch box key, which say we're going to a place like for random Santa Fe apartments. They're all locked. So we go up with a ladder to their thing that's called a notch box, a little black box on the outside of the building. It's got a red stripe on it and a little door. You lift that door open, that key opens that door, and it has all the keys for the building inside so we can get anywhere we need. And then he also has a laptop which tells him what call we're currently going to, which our last one was this. It was an incidental at 101 Gisborough Road, Emerald Ridge Apartments, for a motor vehicle lockout with baby in the vehicle, and the vehicle is not running. I actually went on that call earlier. We didn't even do anything. Police handled it before we got there. Here's the electric siren control, and on the floor he has pedals for the main siren control, which is called a Q or a federal, and he has the air horn control. Move on to the front bumper here. Here is a front bumper intake, so if we need to get extra water on the truck, we can hook up another 5-inch line right to here and get more water into the truck. We have a piercing nozzle, which I've never seen used, but we would use it for, like, say, a box truck that is on fire. You would take it, pierce it through the roof or the wall of the box truck, and just flood it out. Because if you see, it's got a piercing, and all the water comes out of these little holes. Here's a hydrant wrench to open and close the hydrant. And we also have a 150-foot bumper line, which we use for vehicle fires. This is actually really easy to deploy. Just grab these 2 loops here and pull it out. That basically sums up Squad 63. Ability 63. This is the only truck that they actually let me drive. This basically is our secondary piece for all motor vehicle accidents or anything like that. There's just extra things like just oil dry and cribbing and stuff like that in there. There's really nothing special on here. And yeah, there's a generator for the lights. And yeah, I just wanted to show that because they let me drive this. It's my baby. Here we have what we call our run board. It has all of our calls, the type of calls that we would go on, and what goes out first due, second due, and third due in certain areas where we have to take a different truck due to tight spots and things like that. Down here is where our riding assignments go. So say on a Tuesday night when we have our drill, we come in, we write our name on our seat that we're going to be sitting in on that truck. This way everybody knows where they're going. We have the squad, battalion, which is the chief's truck, and the utility. Back here we have our Pepsi machine and vending machine, which is looking empty. Guy better get on that. And our Pepsi machine, which is sold out of cherry Pepsi. I'm highly upset about that, but oh well. And this is Squirt 63. It's basically the same thing as a squad, except it doesn't have as many tools on it. And it also has an aerial device, which is a 75-foot aerial device plus the height of the truck. So that's 75 foot from there to there, fully extended. On the back, we also have what's called a blitz fire, which I've never seen it used, but it's honestly one of my favorite things. Say there's a big fire and you just want to keep putting water on it, you set that up in the yard, you just open it up and it will put a lot of water on the fire fast. And if for some reason it moves even the slightest bit, it automatically turns itself off so it can't hurt anybody. So the second it gets tapped by a foot or something, it shuts off so it can't move and hurt anybody. So yeah, I won't go over the squirt too much, except I'll show you a few differences as the different ladder rack that comes down. And also, the only major difference, really, with the tools is the officer's tool is what's known as a food bar instead of a Halligan. Yeah. That's the squirt.